It is an absolutely beautiful day today in the Mojave Desert, so let's get started. Well, all right. Welcome to the premiere episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places. So today we are heading up into this valley here. We are somewhere deep in the Mojave Desert, and there's a multitude of adits up in here with what I believe to be, at least from my maps, it looks to be two large or more significant mines, but there's a bunch of adit prospects in the area, and we're going to try to get to all of them today. But first, what we're going to do is me and old Bob, we worked our way up this valley, and we're going to check out what I believe was the miners' camp right here. Nothing but a bunch of sticks and boards. Now, of course, let's take a look over here. Yeah, I see we got something up there. Let's go check that out real quick. I think I can kind of see a path over here. We got some, what is that? We got, it looks like a, oh yeah, it's an old oil pan. Check that out. There you go. Oil pan off of something. And we've got some sort of an adit over here. Everything is green in the desert now. There's been a little bit of rain, and that's made the desert bloom. It's really pretty out here. Okay, what do we got up here? Yeah, just a little cove. Probably where the miners stored, so maybe there's some of their canned goods or equipment or something to keep it out of the rain. Could even have been a temporary storage powder magazine for dynamite and blasting caps and such. So not much going on there. Let's take a look over here. Looks like we've got an old 1950s refrigerator. Yeah. 1950s refrigerator and there's a can of sardines. Who doesn't love sardines, huh? You betcha. Good stuff. And a bunch of broken glass. See, the reason that you want to take a moment to stop and look around, especially in the can dumps and the miners, where the miner stays, it'll give you some clues as to how old the place is. For example, like this glass here, you know, you look at this glass, the thickness of the glass, if it's really thick and heavy, You know, you're talking about glass jugs and bottles from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. It wasn't until we got them to the 50s and 60s when they started making glass bottles really thin. So from what I'm seeing here, we've got a mine camp from probably the 1940s. All right, well, I don't see a whole bunch of interesting things here to really take a bunch of time. So the old road goes up this way. Let's head up that way, and when I find something cool, I'll hit record. All right, well, I was working on my way up the road here. Didn't get too far from where we just were, and I couldn't help but notice this old foundation right here. The miners took some time to level out the ground here. It was like at one time we had some sort of a shack up here. Let me go over here and show you, just get a better angle on it for you. There we go. Yeah, could have been a location for a bunkhouse, you know, crew quarters, place like that. So, all right. So let's keep working our way up the valley and get into some of these adits and such. So by the looks of this road, it was definitely built with a bulldozer or some kind of heavy machinery. And right there is where the road ends. That's all washed out. So many years have gone by to clean this much of the road away since it was last bulldozed and created. So that's a good sign. That tells us that we're coming into a pristine area. Not too many people come up in here, and should be pretty exciting. Maybe we'll find some cool artifacts and such. Now I know it may be hard to see for you guys because the video is just two-dimensional, but I wanted to quickly show you the road. This was the road that they built into the mine, and look at what's left of it. I'm just amazed at how much work that they put into this old road just to get to this location. Can you imagine? For those of you that out there that work heavy equipment, you know what I'm talking about. Especially one of those old 1940s, 1950s dozers running up and over these boulders all day long, and then having to backblade your way with finer material in between the cracks. Talk about beating your kidneys out of your body. But I want to point this out because always in this hobby of exploring places like this, the best locations are the ones that are the absolute hardest to get to. And I would put this down as about a number 6 in my book, which like I said, that's always a good thing because not too many people are willing to billy goat their way up this anymore, because you all like to sit at home on your couch, drink coffee, and watch us fools do it. So anyways, that gives you a good idea of that kind of terrain that we're climbing over just to get here. I'm seeing a lot of old pieces of wood and such. Boy, they must have thought there was something really good in this mine to put in something like this. Oh yeah, we're already starting to. Here's some junk. So, and we got a cable over here. Probably what was could have been an old tram line at one point. So, oh yeah, you can look. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Cable's coming down over that right there. All right, I'm gonna keep going up this. I'll meet you up there unless I find something else cool to talk about, and I'll hit record. Okay, we're coming up to our first adit for the day. Yeah, it's a windy one today. I've got a dead cat on my microphone here. I don't know if that's helping. I think in wind like this, it would, even if you put a snuffleupagus on your microphone, it probably wouldn't help, but okay. All right. So we got our first one of the day. Let's gear up and head on in there and take a look around, see what it's all about. Okay, so we're about to go into the first adit for the day, and before I do, so one of the things that I do to kind of mitigate the dangers of this hobby is I always leave a backpack. I got two backpacks. I got one that I take into the adits and mines with me that has everything that I need, extra batteries, water, food, the whole 9 yards, just in case anything bad was to happen. And then outside of the adit, I always leave my other backpack with this bright colored flag here that could easily be seen from the air, and I leave specific instructions back at base camp exactly where I'm going to be for the day and how long I plan on being out. So if I don't come back and my neighbors don't see old Bob, they know there's something wrong, they can send out search and rescue, and hopefully the old boys will see this bright colored flag here from the air, and that and along with the specific instructions that I gave them, they can find me pretty darn quick. So just, you know, you got to stay on the safe side and mitigate the dangers. Thought for the day, Mr. Backpack. Yes. Yeah, well, you know, let's hope not. Okay. All right, let's take a look in here. Yeah, I do love a nice hard rock mine with a whole lot of echo. And it would appear the first one for the day is going to be nothing more than just your exploratory adit with the remnants of an old dynamite box right there. Okay, so all right, not much exciting, but hey, that's part of the game, and when we do this, not all mines and adits are the same. Some are big, some are small. So, okay, let's go work our way that way. See you up there. Okay, well, we're coming up to number 2 for the day, and as I was working my way over there, look what we have here. Let's see if I can get a good angle on that so you can read it. G. Lillestron, Liljestron. G. Lillestron, I'm guessing, 1903. Good deal. We're getting into some old workings. A lot of times that was the case. You're going to have a bunch of exploratory adits before you find the main one that they did the majority of the mining in. Exploratory adits are going to be the oldest. So let's head over to this one. Wind is really blowing today. All right, so let's gear up and I'll meet you guys in there. Okay, let's go. And of course we have an old 7-Up can. Yeah, it seems you just can't go anywhere these days without finding pop cans and water bottles. Looks like they were going into, you can see a layer here. Let me point it out to you. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty wide. It's about 3 feet across, about a 45-degree angle of, it's not buggy quartz, and it certainly isn't bull quartz. Must have been some significance to it. Wow, lots of rat droppings in here. And again, we just have another exploratory at it. Down there I see an old hole where they drilled and put in the dynamite, but I'm not seeing any artifacts or remnants of wooden boxes as such. So, all right, well, we're going to work our way back out of this one and keep working our way up the valley. Sorry, folks, hang in there. We'll find something big. Let's hope so. Well, we're now walking up a substantial waste rock pile, and this is always exciting to finally get to a new mine. And by the looks of this waste rock pile, this is going to be something significant. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, good deal. Seeing a bunch of vent pipe here. Look at all that ventilation tubing. There we go. Very good. So, some ask, some already know the answer to this, but what did they use all this ventilation tubing for? Well, what they would do is they would pump fresh air all the way up into the face of the mine. And what that did is it created a positive pressure zone in the mine, which accomplished 2 tasks. One, it brought fresh air into the miners, and 2, it blew out all the dust and debris back out of the opening, or out of the adit or portal, and because otherwise you're in there all day long breathing dust and everything else. So it just kind of helped make the environment for the miners a little bit nicer. So okay, let's go over here. Once again, gear up, put out the safety flag, and let's take a look at this one. I happen to notice here we've got a cable going down That used to be probably what used to be part of a tram line, and it goes up right next to the mine we're about to go in. So that tells me there's probably some workings higher up. So we'll get to them just as soon as we finish taking a look at this one. Ooh, a little muddy in here. There has been some rain the last couple of days, which is okay. From time to time, the desert needs a drink. So oftentimes you'll see these sticks all hanging off the back of the mine. That was used to tie in that vent pipe we saw back there. They'd wire it up. Again, another good hard rock mine. I can hear my voice echo real good. That's always a good sign. Nice and safe. Someone was in here doing some spray painting. And that ain't that old. Spray paint was introduced right around 1951, so somebody was probably in here doing some looking around since then. Ooh. See, now look at this vein they were working here. Right there. Let me point it out to you. Now this one here is running at a 45-degree angle from left to right. Right here. And the material is very similar to what was in that last exploratory adit that we just found. Ooh, look at here. Look at here. That's a nice shot. See this vein here? Now it's turning into more of galena. Right there. It's about 2 feet wide. And notice how, as we got a little bit deeper into the mine, it started to change. Yeah. It's just beautiful stuff. I'm seeing a bunch of galena. I'm seeing a bunch of silver ore. Why didn't they, how come they didn't stope that out? Look at the width of it here. Here we're getting close to about 3 feet thick. And they didn't even attempt to stope that out. Interesting. So we've got a bunch of there's a bunch of cross ties on the floor. And they were a little more sophisticated on this one, because you can see that they used actual rail spikes rather than a nail pounded in and bent over. So all the cross ties are here, but they took out the rail. Oh, it had to have been a hell of a chore getting it in here. The road up to this location was crazy. Okay, we got a small stope right here. And look at that vein right there. Ooh, doesn't that look good? It's possible that there could still be some goodies in here, folks. But, oops. but it's just so hard to get material out. I don't know. You can't never tell. I mean, if it was that good, then how come the miners didn't take it out? We got small little winds right here. Not much of anything. Looks like it was at one time. It went a lot deeper, but they filled it in. They backfilled it. Yeah, I don't recommend you folks coming into these old mines. See that false floor right there? Yeah, you step on that and you're going for a ride. Not the kind of ride that you want. An old tin can. Is it worth anything? Yeah, no. Fun ones are the ones you can maybe sometimes find markings on. Wow, nice big mine. Good size opening. The back here, I know you can't tell on the camera, the back's about 6 feet tall and we're about four feet wide. Good hard rock. Here we got another small winds. Again, they went down into it, and we got another can here. Let's see what this is all about. What's that? Looks like it could have been maybe a paint can or something. I'll leave it for the next adventurer. What's that over there? Oh, no. For a second, I thought that was a stick of dynamite. No, that is what's left of an old tampon rod that broke off, or they cut it off. And I'll bet you it was used to go up into one of these holes in the back, just like that. And they hung the vent off of it. Now we're coming into a larger area. Ooh, and I'm seeing, wow. Look up in here. Look at this vein. Look at that. Right up in there. Let's see if I can get my light. Isn't that some beautiful stuff? I'm seeing pyrite, galena. I'm seeing lead sulfides in there. Lots and lots of beautiful quartz. Again, it mystifies me why they didn't get more of this material out of here. That's looking back where we just came from. That's just some beautiful stuff. Especially up in there. So they built this little platform here. A small little broken ladder to get to it. Oh, what do we got here? So we got a little thing going to the left here. It doesn't look like it goes far, but right-hand rule always prevails. What's down here? Looks like a box. What is that, a box or is that a... No, it's just a block of wood. Looks like a box. And a skiff plate. So one time they had this skiff plate. See all the dents in it? They would bring the ore cart right up in here, drop the skiff plate into it, and then drop the ore, slide it down the skiff plate. Okay, let's see what we got over here. There's an old ladder. And so when you're in those old mines, here's why you never should crawl up and down old ladders. See this one here? Here's the knot, and that's where they'll always snap at the weakest point. You can see this one here snapped right off. Well, how would you like to be climbing down a 400-foot shaft and that snaps off on you and you plummet to your death? So don't climb old ladders. And if you see me do it, do as I say, not as I do. Now one more time, let's get another good look at this material here that they cleaned out. That is just some beautiful stuff. There, it's maybe about 2 feet at that point. All right, let's continue on. There's a cave spider. I don't know if you can see him in there, just a daddy long legs. Okay, let's continue on. Yeah, someone was in here. See, there's some survey tape on the ground. So somebody got interested in this at one time. And here's some markings on the wall. What's that say? 200. So if you see that in the mine, it has a number and an arrow pointed back out to the portal. That means that it's 200 feet from the face of the mine, not from the portal or from the entrance, from the face of the mine. So we've got 200 more feet to go, folks. That's always good. See, and here they surveyed again. And there's another number on the wall, an 8. So we just went 8 more feet from the 200 mark. So I would almost bet that somebody came back in here back in probably the 80s. Back in the 80s when gold spiked and everybody went crazy. They surveyed this and probably found that it was worth something, but trying to get it out of here. Here we go. We got some miners graffiti. D.B. Harper, 12/25, 1948. And I can't make out the next one here. But that was, what is that, 1950. And the next one is S.D. Moore, April 1st, April Fool's Day, 1941. Right around World War II, when he painted that with his carbide lamp. Actually, I shouldn't say painted, marked it with his carbide lamp. Okay. So we're going to take a break here real quick, folks. I'm going to do a recalibration of the camera, and I'll be right back.